Welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do a mail merge. A mail merge is where you prepare one letter and you can send it out to a number of persons. However, each person will receive their individualized copy. So for example, you might have typed one letter and you're going to send it to an entire school, but each person would receive their individualized copy, meaning their own address would be there, their own name, etc. Right? So there are more than one ways to do a mail merge, and also remember that a mail merge usually consists of a source document. So your source document can be either from Excel, Access, or even Microsoft Word, right? Or an online address book or something like that. So in this video, however, I'll be using Microsoft Access, but for your SBA, you would do so based on the instruction in your SBA from your instructor. So you have several ways of doing it. You can type the letter and insert the fees as you go along, or you can pre-type the letter, which is what I'll be doing now. Have the merge fees, put some placeholders in those section, and then replace the placeholders with the merge fees. So as I go along, I'll explain that a little more in detail, and that is the method that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and start by clicking mailings. Then I'm going to select start mail merge and select step-by-step mail merge wizard. So let me go ahead and just set up my page. So I would have already included my letterhead and my footer with whatever it is that your instructor would have asked you to do. You would do all of those, right? So I'm going to set my paper size to whatever I want it to be. And then the rest of it, as you know, a wizard, all you need to do is to read the instruction on the screen and follow as you go along. So let me put in the date, because of course the date is the first thing that is going to be in your letter, and it is best to just use a simple block style if you are not given a specific style. And block style means that you're going to type everything aligned to the left margin, so there would be no indentation. Alright, so I'm just going to use a random date. Alright, and then I'm going to proceed now to read the instruction on the right panel here. So hold on. Alright, so it says select document type. What type of document are you working on? I am working on a letter, so I'll leave that checked and I'll go ahead and select next. How do you want to set up your letter? I want to use this existing document, so this current document, so I'm going to keep that option checked and select next. So this is where we're actually now going to select our recipients, right? So we're going to find and locate our data source. So you click on the option that says browse. And then you would find the data source, right? So as I'm using our database, you're going to see all the tables and queries in that database, right? So as you can see the names here, these are showing all the tables and queries that are in this database. So usually you are given, if it is that you're doing using database as a data source, you are given which specific query or table that you are supposed to use in the mail merge. So I'm going to go ahead and select the one that I'm using and click OK. So now that my data source is here, here as well, if you want to remove somebody that you don't want to send it to, then you can check here, right, and it will remove that person. However, I'm going to use all these persons, so it shows you a list of all the persons that will receive this letter. Click OK. And the next is to write your letter. So remember that I said you can use more than one ways. So you could have been writing the letter while you're doing the mail merge, while you're going through the steps, or you could have pre-written the letter as in the case that I'm doing now. So I'm going to click this option, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to paste my letter which I would have written before. Alright, so these errors that are there, those are deliberate, because I'm going to show you why I would have placed them there and explain it a little further. Alright, so whatever you see in all caps in my letter are those words that I'm going to replace with merge field. So since the letter is already written, I can go ahead and insert my merge fields. So you select the word that you want to replace. You go to insert merge field, and you find the merge field that should replace that word. Alright, so I'm going to click on that. Alright, so the next one is this. And this is the final one. Alright, so in this step now, what you can do is to correct those errors that you have here, because you need to save at this step. Alright? Oh, something is missing. Or greeting. Space bar. And of course the address is also missing. So for address, if you have more than one field, you would more than one line of address, you would place the first line and you press the enter key and place the second line and so on. Alright. What am I doing? Alright, so the next thing you want to do is to insert your signature line and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert my signature line. So you click on insert, because as I said, you need to save at this step. So you want to ensure that everything is actually saved. Everything that is going to be in the letter is shown in this step to verify that your merge letters were actually created from this primary document. Alright, so you can put the person's name, their title, and click OK. Alright, and then now you can also go ahead. Well, at this step, what you can do in this step is to change probably the font type and so on before you actually save this. You can make those little changes. You can correct your line spacing. Letter should be written in single line spacing, and you should have one space between each paragraph, right? And if you notice, everything starts directly at the left margin. I also did not put a comma after the name because, as I said, it's called block style, and the block style uses what we call open punctuation, meaning that we omit punctuation outside of the body of the letter. So usually, maybe in your class, in your language class, you'd put a comma after your sincerely or dear and so on, or after each line of the address. In the block style, you don't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this step. So you can just call it primary document or whatever it is that you are told to save it as. And then you're going to continue working now. This step is very important. So it says preview your letters. So you're going to go ahead and select preview your letters. Here now you're able to see how it is that the letter is actually going to look once it is printed. So you read through, ensure that there are no errors. So as you can see, a space should be between registered and student. See if there's anything else. Alright, so this is money, so you want to put the $sign here. Alright, and basically this would be our letter. So remember, you have to make any changes in this step. So step 5, remember to make any changes to the letter in step 5. Because once you get to step 6, that's where the letter is finished. And you're going to be now seeing however or any amount of letter that you are going to send out to each recipient. So you don't want to be editing 100 letter or 5,000 letter. You want to edit one, and that will correct the others. So I'm going to go to the next step, which is to complete the merge. And then you select this option that says edit individual letter. Ensure that all is ticked and click OK. Alright, so once that is done, my number of pages will move from 1 of 1 to the amount of recipients in the letter. So I would have, this one says it is 1 to 12. So this letter is going to be sent to 12 persons. The same letter will be sent to 12 persons. Each person's address is different. Their name is there, and so on. So after that, now what you're going to do is to go ahead and save again. So you would go to File, Save As, and then you would save it as whatever it is that it is supposed to be saved as. So I'm just going to save it as merged document. Alright, once you are finished and you click close, it is going to ask, you're going to see this screen. When you click close again, it's going to ask if you want to save the changes to the primary document. No, because if you do that, then the merge fees are not going to show, and that is important because that is what is going to be able for the markers to see that, alright, the primary document was created, and from that we can see that this is where the merge letters actually were generated from. So you must not save the changes to the primary document. So click don't save, and that would be the end of your work. The end of the merge. So thank you for watching, and in the next video we'll look at another section of the SBA.